Shamrock Show. We're live, episode 11. I'm here with my man, Chicky the Guinea.
What's up, pals?
Brian
What's up, guys?
Hoyle, down from Western Mass, Springfield, Mass. We're on site today with first time doing a show out of the studio. We're here at this awesome facility, 40 Thieves. If you saw the old episode I did with Darren before he opened the place, this place is in Bridge Street in Groton, and it's killer, man. Whatever you can see in the views here from the secret bar behind the bookshelf, it's
Great place.
a really cool spot. You got to make sure you come down and check it out. Shout out to my sponsor, Ripe Juice, for always taking care of me and helping me keep the lights on here. Happy to have you guys down, man. Thanks for making the trip. Great to meet you, man. Great to meet you, man.
Absolutely, pleasure.
So, I say these guys are filming a movie or TV show?
It's a pilot for a series.
All right, it's a pilot for a series.
Yep, TV.
And it's going to be called The Flanagans, as you see on my man Brian's shirt here. And what's real quick basic synopsis on it? When's it take place? I know it was the 40s?
It's going to be, well, you know what? It's a play, and Brian can help me with this. It's a play on the late 70s.
Late 70s,
but it's
okay.
more brought towards the future. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
It shows a history that Malcolm was a Westie.
Yep.
And supposedly he's the last one standing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now he's in Queens. He's doing his thing. It's today.
Yeah.
He's got 2 sons and 3 henchmen.
Yep.
And between
Killers.
them, between them, they got the Flanagans.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So before we get too deep into the TV show, the thing that's cool about this TV show is it's going to be like the first time that real guys from that life are making a show that are about that life. Normally, you have a lot of seasoned actors or people who are taking notes from guys like these, but these guys have some inside knowledge to really make sure the show comes across authentic. We've seen that done in different movies where you have Michael Jordan in Space Jam, or Shaq in Blue Chips. You have an athlete playing the athlete. You had for years, like Tupac had a lot of great roles as, he was a rapper gangster playing that same type of role. So this is kind of cool. We're going to dip into this. Chicky, why don't you start by giving a little history on yourself, where you're from, and how you kind of ended up where we are now?
I'm from Western Massachusetts. My family was originally, when I was a little kid, through the Bronx, Arthur Avenue. But I never got to spend time there. I came to Western Mass as a child. And that being said...
These guys don't like talking to mics.
No. But I did federal prison time in USP Canaan, MCC Manhattan, for allegedly having a bookmaking business and a Shamrock business out of Western Mass.
Allegedly.
To say that, yeah, allegedly, 100% allegedly.
Yeah.
But I did the time, so I might as well say.
Right. No, you never.
And Brian, forget it.
Anything.
He's
Now, I know what it is, but the average person might not know what bookmaking and Shamrocking is. Why don't you tell them what you were accused of?
Bookmaking is obviously like a lot of the casino in Las Vegas.
Sports
bets.
Yeah.
They play sports bets, and you pay accordingly or get paid accordingly. Loan sharking is what you're doing is basically like a bank. You're lending money, and you're getting a little more percentage back.
So if you don't have good credit and you happen to know a guy who's a Shylock, they can take care of you. It's a neighborhood thing, you know what I mean? It's meant to be.
Usually you burnt your bridges.
Right.
Absolutely.
When you got nowhere else to go, usually the interest rate is significantly higher, and the collection agency isn't a yellow bill, but
Exactly.
in the mail.
No, you're right.
But I was talking to some guys about sports booking lately about how they've made it legal now and whether that would have what kind of effect that would have on the street business.
I think it's a huge effect. He'll tell you about it.
In a good way though, right? No. See, the view that I was given, and I'll let you retort to it, was that one, it's going to attract more people into sports betting who were never into it before because now it's legal, and then when they don't want to go to the casino, it might bring more business to the street. And also, if I was going to lay a bet, let's say I was going to lay a bet with you allegedly, I don't have to give you. I want to bet $500 on the Patriots to win. I don't have to actually have that.
Well, those are the people that are going to continue to bookmake.
Right.
But anybody that pays up front, we don't ask for it up front as a bookmaker in the past.
Allegedly.
No, I went to jail for it. I did it.
Did a ton of time.
I never
you don't have to
said
say
I didn't
allegedly.
do it. But I didn't plead guilty to anything I didn't do. But what the hell was I saying?
About customers.
When the website came up, just last year, I was doing a little skid bit for bookmaking.
Yeah.
And I went to the parole board, and the woman who was in the parole board said, she started laughing at me. She goes, you know, you're in here for pretty much what's legal. And I laughed and said, yeah, you got your own website. Mass is putting up a website.
Right. Yeah.
And she says, yeah, but you didn't pay your taxes. You were down in the islands. You know, so, I mean, yeah, but that just goes to show. But the guys that we would really want aren't going to come to us now. They're going to go online. They can use a credit card. They don't have to worry about getting cracked. I mean, you know.
Legal money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, you may be right, because it's going to draw that many more people.
Right, and then you get a guy like that who now his wife sees a credit card bill, like, hey, yo, Joe, you can't fucking spend money like this.
Right.
But now he's an addict. Now he's addicted to
Now he goes to the
gambling.
corner
He
guy.
never did it before, though. He was a
Right.
guy who would never be
Exactly.
involved in
Hit her in the
street
head.
stuff.
Yep.
He would never, never know a way.
No.
And then now he's jammed up at the casino. Maybe, and then it's like, shit,
And then,
I still want to play. Now, granted, you kind of run into a customer who might not have money, who becomes more of a headache worth their worth.
Right,
But
right.
it could. If you look at the bright
could be
side,
like crack. You're right.
It could open the door to people who never
course.
thought of it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you're giving them credit right up front. I
Right.
mean, how many people, if you gave a $5,000 credit card,
Right,
just an average person that couldn't get it,
Yeah.
how many people are going to pay that $5,000 back?
Right,
They're
no.
going to laugh and spend it the whole time.
Right. Which you don't really want, but
No, but I'm just saying.
But I think that long term, it's advertisement for the business. It's we find a way, or maybe just guys start getting licensed and fucking open real shops. I don't know.
Well, that could happen, maybe.
yeah,
you know.
it might happen very soon in up Foxwoods, up this area.
Yeah, but we don't have it. But man, I was at Twin River one day,
Yeah.
and it was like a Sunday afternoon, and I was walking by like, holy shit, the line to go place bets on the Patriots at Twin River Casino, Rhode
Crazy.
Island, was bananas. I was with Jimmy Birch. You guys know Jimmy?
Yeah, of course. The owner, he owns with John
the
fights for.
yeah,
John
the
III.
MMA.
CS.
the CS.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah,
CS,
yeah.
the whole
The pro-
CS.
oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
he's
met
In
him.
Hartford, the older
Yeah,
guy.
I
in
met
the
him, a
sun.
little short guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there one day, and we walked through the casino before some fights. He was showing me how he was planning on doing some stuff, and we were talking about doing some business together. And the line for the bookmaking was bananas. It was like absolutely crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So, Brian, what about you? What's your backstory? Well, how did you get from point A to wearing a TV shirt?
Well, to wearing a TV shirt. Well, I've done a significant amount of time. I've probably done about 18 years total, federal prison, all of
federal.
it, and it's not alleged. And the statute of limitations is now run out. And I did some time. I did 9 years in Raybrook, New York, and John Gotti Jr. was a very close friend of mine there. We hung around together. We talked a lot. He's a smart guy. I'm
He
a
is
pretty
very
intelligent
smart.
guy.
Yeah,
And
both of you.
there's not a lot of guys in there that aren't. Hey, how you doing? So we stuck together, and after we'd gotten out, and we just kind of kept in touch,
Yeah.
And he has a friend that's involved in this.
Okay.
So it was mentioned, and a phone call was made, and I was supposed to have a little small part.
Yeah.
I took the small part, and then a bigger part came open, so they gave me the bigger part.
The day before, the
Yeah.
night before.
No, that's the second one.
Oh,
Blaze.
yeah, okay,
So
that's
now
right.
the day before shooting, matter of fact, the first day of shooting,
Yeah.
I get a call. I'm not supposed to be there for Saturday
We're
night.
already there.
Yeah. I get a call 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm at the Mercedes dealer fixing my roof.
Yeah.
And they said, listen, could you do us a favor and play Malcolm Flanagan?
It's the head
Now,
guy.
Malcolm Flanagan's the lead because the guy that came there wasn't intimidating, didn't know his lines, and this was an actor.
And he was requesting all kinds of crazy
and for them
stuff.
to fire the guy,
forget
not knowing who was going to replace him.
Right.
Now, maybe John had told Ilio was one of the directors, that this kid's a pretty sharp kid. If anybody can do it, he can do it.
Yeah.
So they asked me. I drove to New York. I stayed up all night. I read the script, and I think I did a pretty good job.
You killed it.
Cool, man.
Killed it.
I saw a little clip online of you cracking somebody's skull with a crowbar.
Everybody can go
Yeah,
on that
that
site.
was a
you know.
lot of fun.
Yeah,
I've
was
seen
great.
that done in real life, so I'll tell you, it looks pretty legit.
Yeah.
I
Should have been there live on the set.
I've seen the real thing, so
Yeah.
I try to make it
the
as
shot was
realistic as
impressive.
possible.
Yeah,
Well,
for
it's
sure,
not a
for
stretch.
sure. So what kind of stuff did you end up in? What had
Racketeering was all encompassing. Everything and
Just
a few more.
because you knew,
Yeah, there was some violence, there was a few different things.
Right, gotcha,
They
gotcha.
tried to tie us in, of course, to organized crime, which
Right.
I deny, but
It doesn't
everything
exist.
else.
Well, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's 100%.
I mean, but bookmaking, loan sharking, money
Yeah.
laundering is all,
They
Right.
put it together.
So let me tell you my Springfield experience, because you guys are from there. So one of my first jobs out of high school, I was 19 years old, and I was working security at Foxwoods Casino. Okay, that's what most of the people in this area, you know, when you're young, you end up at the casino, you know, because they're just
One way or the
they're right
other.
here. They're big employers. So I was doing security there and at grave shift. And so at this time, this was in the early, like this was like 2000, 2001. Everything was still in books. It wasn't computerized yet. And they had like an encyclopedia library of guys who had been kicked out of the casino, right? They had enough guys in the books to start a new casino. You know,
Right,
I mean, it
right.
was just
No, 100%.
live, nothing was on the computer. So,
Wow.
so what I would do is grave shift's not a lot going on. I would always go through them and look to see if I recognize guys, not because I like the guys, not because I like to get guys in trouble, because I like confrontation. So I was like, let me
Right.
go look for these guys. You know, I'd find guys like, oh, that guy's not supposed to be here.
Yeah, right.
You toss him out. And there was this one dude who had been kicked out 12, 13 times, all right? Page after page after page. And half of them were because they recognized him, he wasn't supposed to be there, and half of them was because he caused the scene.
Right.
And one day I see the guy, and we make eye contact, and right away he knows that I know who he is. He grabs me to the side. And his name is Jake. He's from Springfield. You guys know
Oh,
Jake.
jeez, yeah.
So he's like, listen, he's like, I know what you're gonna say. Before you even say it, he's like, he's like, I don't want any problems. He's like, I got like $500 on me, and he's like, my friends, we like run Springfield, and I didn't even know what the fuck Springfield was. I was, you know,
Yeah,
like,
right.
I don't even think the Six Flags was made yet, you know.
Right, right.
But he gave me $500 and said, leave him alone, you know, and I'm making fucking $10 an hour. I'm like, fuck yeah. So he gives me
course.
$500, and then he's like, yo, if you guys ever want to come up to Springfield, come on up. So one day, man, I grabbed a bunch of guys, and we went up, and he introduced me to Victor. Bruno, and we'll touch on that in a minute. This guy named Big T.
No, not
T.
Big T, just T. Sofen.
Yeah, and so we went to Artie Pasta, and we went to Mardi Gras and to the Hippodrome. Does the Hippodrome still
Yeah,
exist?
no
No.
more. No.
Okay, but you know the Hippodrome.
Yes, yeah, it was
It's
huge.
the old Paramount.
Yeah, and then a couple times we went back. There was a club called Rain that was over there by
Yeah.
Artie Pasta.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
across the
Like a
green.
private
And
club.
We went to Anthony's too. That was out
Yeah.
in the woods,
Yeah.
though,
Yeah,
right?
Connecticut.
New Ludlow Road.
Yeah, no, it's no. Anthony's Two is in Windsor.
You're
Lodge.
right.
Was it? Well, I didn't even know we went back into
in
Connecticut. We
Connecticut.
started in Springfield.
No, right there.
But
20 minutes away.
they were all. So you know all these guys
Yeah.
then, yeah. But so what I ended up doing long term, Jesus Christ. Anyone I used to work with is gonna fucking crucify me. Like, no one knows. I've never told this story, like
Right.
really.
Well,
So
I've
then I
seen
went
that
back
movie.
to the books, right?
Right.
And there was a copy, 2 copies on the floor, and then 1 in the office, and then a filing, like an old school library, like filing cabinet. And I took all that shit and I mailed it. So he gave me like $1,500, and I mailed it to him. So he would. So then, like, they could recognize him as not being supposed to be in the casino.
Yeah.
But like, no one would be able to prove it. You know.
Right,
So
right,
I
right. No,
sent- I
right,
sent
right.
them all this stuff.
Oh,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
But
That was nice.
that's my Springfield story. But the guy Victor, his father was still alive at this time, and I remember it was a big deal, man. And those guys were so, they came down to the casino like shortly thereafter, and
Yep.
Victor was really down, and Jake's like, yeah, his father was just killed, So you guys both knew Al Bruno, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, very
I
well.
mean, you guys are from the same
Yeah, he
circles.
was the
close.
guy.
Yeah, he was the guy. Man.
He was our guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you throw his name in Google, you'll see a lot of articles. He's like the last real guy to be taken out, or
The last flashy guy, let's say, put it that
the
way.
last
Maybe
old
flashy,
school, yeah,
old school, maybe.
Not
but
murdering
like
anybody.
a public guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
everyone knew who,
forget it,
if you were
100%.
in Mass, Western Mass, you knew who he
100%.
was. You know what I mean? He wasn't
more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Typical style betrayed by by the person he was mentoring.
Right. And then he was actually the guy who was involved in killing him was the same guy who was involved in killing Whitey Bulger. Yeah.
Well,
That's what
yeah.
they say.
Allegedly,
That's what
yeah,
they say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys put the deal together with this junkie who ended up killing Al.
Yeah.
Later on, in a penitentiary, federal penitentiary, where Whitey Bulger was brought in a wheelchair and killed that night.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
They say that Freddie was one of the guys that cut his eyes out and tongue and everything
Yeah,
else.
he really
yeah,
fucking
you know.
tortured him.
Yeah,
but he
man,
went
I
in
read a lot about
population.
that.
He said,
Right. Well, that I mean,
And the
really
Jesus-
believed he
that
wasn't-
wasn't an
The
accident.
Jesus
Yeah.
stand-up guys.
Them
The-
kids are stand-up. Ty G is the brother, and
Yeah.
Freddie, the most stand-up
I
kids.
mean, and I'm a
Forget it.
Bruno guy, but
Yeah.
they're stand-up guys. You got to give them
Stand-up
credit.
guys, yeah.
Their boss is a rat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy though to have one guy who connected to 2 such high-profile hits, man.
Yeah.
You do that movie next, man.
Yeah, right.
You know?
The Bruno story.
Yeah. Or the Whitey Bulger one.
Yeah.
How do friends of yours feel about you guys doing a show like this? Is there any kind of
No,
bad
well,
feelings
they're
on
always
it?
supportive.
Yeah.
Very
No,
supportive.
because we're citizens now.
Right,
That's it.
right.
You know
right.
what I mean? So it's not like we got a friend that's
Yeah.
worried about what we're going to say.
Yeah.
you
Right,
know?
right. Okay, I didn't know what kind of history there would be to
No.
that.
Yeah,
They wish us the best. Hey, good for
Yeah.
you. You know, whatever.
of course.
Yeah. You guys running that Six Flags, where you guys get a cut out of Six Flags? Well, that would have been the fucking. Do you see the
Jesus.
money that goes to that place? You guys ever think of opening a
Unbelievable.
motherfucking
It's crazy.
theme park?
But
Oh, my God.
the billions. But you know what? You can't do anything now.
Nah, everything's square. No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Forget
even
it.
did you guys watch The Sopranos?
Yeah.
There was even a joke about it, when they would shake down a Starbucks, and the kid was like, "What do you want me to do?" You
Yeah,
know?
right. No, it's all.
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
As
right,
an
right.
employee,
Yeah.
you know what I
That was a
mean?
joke.
He's like,
Jesus,
I mean, it
But
was
the
a
whole
great-
thing is that the citizens, they're not ratting.
No.
They can call the cops. That's who they rely on.
That's right.
And then knock around
you
guys,
can't
they'll
blame
just
them.
rat.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
Well, that ruined everything.
you can't. If a guy owes you money, you can't smack him. You got to say, okay,
What can we do?
Can we get it next week? Can you
Yeah.
just give me a piece of it?
Right.
You know, it's,
Well, right.
It's
not
the ones
worth
that
it.
are the
No.
greedy ones are going to get in big
But
trouble.
it's not good for those neighborhoods who used to rely on that stuff. When you look at some neighborhoods that were like that, and then they've gone to shit
forget
because
it.
there was a whole separate entity of politics going on, and
100%.
and feeling safe and protection, and
That's
you
right.
know what I mean. And when that became obsolete, I don't know a lot about Western Mass, but I do know a lot about Providence, and what I've seen there, man, has been detrimental to that city. Even though the city, I love Providence is doing well, but
Absolutely.
certain
Great
parts
town.
of that city,
Great city.
have lost a lot by
cracking down.
cracking down on guys who are going to tell because they were jammed up on some stupid drug charge, and it ends up
Right.
you ruin a whole community.
And that's
You know
only
what
going
I
to
mean?
that's only going to continue
Well, a
because they
perfect
want to build
example in downtown
more
Springfield,
prisons,
there's
yep.
an area that was called the entertainment
Yep.
area,
Yeah.
and the mayor at the time, Mike Albano,
Yep.
was into beautifying Springfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
So facades were giving out as grants. So this whole street, the windows rolled out. There were people sitting in the sidewalks.
It was beautiful.
And Victor Bruno.
Victor
owned
Bruno was a huge part of that, I gotta say.
And Al was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now this guy comes home from jail. I can't remember his name. Tony something or other.
Yeah.
And he wants to do a story on not from jail. I came home from jail, and he came to me and wanted to do a story on Bruno.
Yeah.
And a main part of it is that he took a little bit.
Yeah.
And everybody was happy and everybody was protected.
Right.
Police don't protect anybody. And of course, there are a lot that came and took too much.
Yeah.
The after effect of it. So, I mean, some people would rather have a street guy.
Right.
Times are changing now, but I guess, but cops sometimes aren't there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does add something to the neighborhood. You make your own bed, as to how far you get involved in things.
No question about that.
I've just from the outside seen a lot with a friend who's got a father who's in Providence, and I've kind of seen just how it's gone over the years,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, dude, where it should have been much better than it is, But you're saying people get greedy. We were just talking about that. So you own bars, right?
Yeah.
And I've got a bar, and it's the kind of thing that you see. We talk about. You don't hire a bartender who doesn't steal. You hire a bartender who steals the
less.
least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If it's a producing night, you
Yeah.
turn your head. Absolutely.
Right. Pigs get fed. Slaughterhouses. But it's the same thing with what you're saying, street stuff. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And deals that get made. People who are greedy. Everyone gets greedy, and that's how you get jammed up. Even
Yeah.
I had a waitress who I had to fire at the end of the year. So we had a button in the computer. We're talking about
Software,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where they could discount their play meal. I'm not fucking running to discount everybody's fucking
Sure.
meal. I got peak season. It's a summer place.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got 30 employees on. Sure, just discount your meal. And I check the discounts here and there and make sure at the end of the night, it looks about right.
Excessive.
But and a girl at the end of the year, she had 2 tables the whole day. 2 fucking, and she had friends there, and she discounted their meal and kept the cash, But that's on a day where you're killing it, man. I'm not gonna notice if you took $40 probably.
You're right, of
You know
course
what
not.
I mean?
Right,
Like,
Which I mean everything.
fuck
actually.
you to
Doesn't
any of my
hurt you,
employees
but-
that are watching this, but
Principle. When you find out someone's stealing, I
Right.
don't care if it's quarters. You
Right.
can't keep them.
Right, but when you did $80 in sales and you kept 40, well, what are we talking about?
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine when you're doing 600, how much you take.
Right. Well, then I would notice in the, but
Well, that's
for her,
true.
in the discount. But to her, that made the $40 made a big deal. To me,
Yeah.
whatever. But, so Chicky, how did you get involved in the movie? I know he said that he had known John.
Well, one of my dear friends and our partners in the movie was
Yeah.
Damian Trites, who was an ex-MMA pro fighter.
Okay.
Nice kid, great kid from Western Mass his whole life, and moved a couple other places, Boston, but he was with Bellator MMA.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I got my,
yeah. Damian was with him.
I
Yeah.
got my
Oh
Bellator
yeah,
hat
there
on
you
right
go.
now.
Yeah.
Bellator's coming in soon. Those are
Yeah,
those are like
yeah.
dear good friends of mine
Yeah,
at Bellator.
Damien
man.
worked with them a long time, so we became partners in doing videos, laughing videos, busting chops,
Yeah.
videos.
Our friend Ronnie put me onto those.
Yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, Ronnie's a great guy.
Darren, what's up, buddy? I didn't see you creep in.
So, so we started doing the different videos and stuff like that, and then one of the videos we did was a funny video. My mother's in an old age home, and I go visit every day. So I was reading her the John Gotti book.
Yeah.
And there was one part of the book that's very funny.
I will sever John Gotti will
sever your mother effing head off. Yeah. So I'm reading it to my mother. So Damien goes, you can't tell your mother that. She's in a nursing home. She's 80 years old, 83 years old. You can't tell her sever. And then she, without even us even knowing, it was a live thing. Yeah. And my mother goes, listen, mind your mouth, Damien. Don't tell him, I like this book. I told him to get it. So I go, Ma, tell him. Yeah. So John Gotti, Damien was friends with John Gotti's son, the fighter.
Yeah.
And Brian, of course, knew John, Jr. And so John reached out to Damien and had Big Steve, who works with John at Team MMA, Gotti.
Steve Mays?
Big Steve.
Yeah,
great guy.
Dude,
great
fucking
guy.
love Steve Mays.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So good guy. So Steve ended up calling Damien and said, hey, link us up with that video. John Gotti wants to put it on his site, Junior. Yeah. So then he put it on his site. His sister Angel put it on her site. Yeah. Next thing you know, it's on a lot of different of the family site. Yeah. And they got a big kick. They said even the mom was laughing. John Senior's wife. Yeah. And that was the beginning. Then we met for dinner a couple of times, and we were going to plan on doing something in the future together. Some kind of reality. We were just thinking. Right. But they just want to plug a big thing. They got a big thing coming out with Chris Casparosa and Junior Gotti called Woodsack Mafia. It's an incredible show. It's all based on guys like.
WITSAC is the Witness Protection Program.
Witness Protection. Okay. We'll get into the rest.
So what happens is that the ADA, the sponsor for these rats, and marshals, are involved in letting them run wild. Yeah. Let's see if you can grab some drug dealers in Iowa. Right. Yeah. Let's see if you can't get some guns dealers in Texas. Right. Yeah. So he's got these rats. They've got these rats working for him in all different shapes and forms.
Absolutely.
Well, there's going to be a docudrama based on that. How transits are, the federal prison system and how all of it works, because we know.
Absolutely.
And John and Chris Casparosa are producing it, and
great
I
guys.
believe it's going to be #1.
Oh, forget it.
So we're hoping to be, involved in it. We've got auditions,
That's fucking wild, man. Yeah. How often do guys go into witness protection and then fuck up again?
Oh, Jesus, Henry Hill.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. That's the most famous case.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you hear
I did a
of the
video
other
with
ones.
Chuck Zito. Yeah. When he brought up the Henry Hill story, if you remember that on my set website.
I don't think the marshals or the federal government lets that out. Yeah.
No.
This was different because just like in that Blue Heaven, they'll go in and take them right out of a jail if it's a state beef or drunk and something like that.
Right. That's wild, man.
Right.
My boy Deerham, I went over there with his son, a part of the place, man. We know a guy that too was in witness protection. We found out he was running this truck thing, and it was he got jammed up here again. They can do it. They got to open.
So that's how it came out.
They got to open agenda to do anything they want.
He vanished. Yeah. And he's in another place as a witness protection program.
Exactly.
I don't know. Shit.
But that's crazy. It's a great
it's gonna be
premise,
huge.
And Chris is a great producer, and John knows what he's doing. He wrote the book,
and now he
Shadow
the movie.
of the Father.
It's a great book, and they got the movie going. It's been out for a while. Gotti.
Did you watch the Gotti movie with John Travolta?
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I think he did all right.
John said he liked John Travolta.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part, it was.
I thought the
acceptable.
guy that played John Jr. was really good. I didn't think John Travolta was very good. I thought the guy that played John Jr. did a good job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously not knowing.
And back in the day, he would have been too old to do it now. But Armand Sante played a great guy.
Yeah, no, but I know that.
HBO.
That's.
But that was. I mean, let's figure. That was 20 years ago. Or whatever.
That's the guy.
So if he played it now, he couldn't have played John Gotti. That's why they, decided to go with Travolta.
Yeah, you go with a big name. I thought he overacted it. But I thought the guy that played John Jr. did a really good job.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad movie.
Patrick Burriello is a good friend of ours. He played as one of John's uncles.
Pete?
The one that died. No, not the uncle. His father's Ruggiero.
Jesus. Anthony Ruggiero.
No, Angelo.
Angelo.
Yeah, Angelo.
John's like right-hand man.
Yeah, Angelo.
Senior.
He's died now, but Angelo, son's Patrick Briello played one son, another kid played another son that were great actors. I'm embarrassed I don't know his name,
Yeah.
but he did incredible. And Patrick Briello did incredible. His father was Bobby Briello,
Yeah.
who was, happened to get, murdered, back in the day,
Yeah, yeah. What's your favorite mob movie?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a great genre.
Yeah, no, it is a great genre.
From what I understand, The Irishman is
They
supposed
say
to
it's
be the
the
greatest
best one
gangster
ever
movie
made.
of all time.
All the reviews on it are killer.
Through
the roof.
Yeah, I
Through
can't
the roof.
wait to see. We talked about here with Deal.
We know it's only going to be in the
like,
movie
maybe
theaters
do it-
30 days.
So when it goes on
Netflix.
Netflix, all right.
They got the projection screen here. We talked about we should do like a big showing of it here one
Be
night,
huge.
man. It's
3
Kill
hours and
it.
20 minutes.
Yeah,
Kill
yeah.
it.
That movie looks great. All the heavy hitters in it, and I read that book years ago.
You did?
Yeah, yeah.
Who wrote it? Do you know offhand?
I mean, the guy's
I'd like to
Frank
get the
Sheeran.
book. I love
but-
books better.
Yeah, I'd have to Google who the actual author was, but Frank
Sheeran.
Sheeran was the name of the guy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
But yeah, he didn't write the book. He took it on. He was in the nursing home, and the guy was there.
Frank
interviewing
Sheeran was
him.
away, right?
No, he was in. He was in.
He was in jail. I mean, the name sounds so familiar to
Well,
me.
yeah, at one time, but that's the guy that the movie's about is Frank Sheeran.
Oh,
he was a guy,
okay,
he was
yeah.
a Philly guy. He was from Philly, but he was at this point in his life. He was in a nursing home, and the author wrote the book, doing interviews with him. There's a lot out there that say maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
I saw some video where it was an FBI guy saying that. So the premise of the book is that this guy Frank Sheeran says he killed Hoffa. And the FBI guy says, we think he was involved, but we don't think that he was the guy.
Right,
But, you
right.
know, it's...
Well, they don't have a clue.
Right,
I
right.
mean, otherwise somebody would have got locked up.
Right.
Oh, you bet your life.
That's
yeah.
crazy that some of these things that never come out. That would never happen now.
Right.
That where you would get away with no one ever knowing.
Not now.
Never.
yeah.
No, this day and age, forget it.
We talk the gangster cowboys. They should Instagram it while they were doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got to say, Bronx Tale was a good one. I mean, Godfather's without even, that's like, you forget
first
it. That,
one,
you
yeah.
forget it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, just like bang around ones, you got to go Bronx Tale and Untouchables. I mean, not Untouchables. I'm sorry, Goodfellas. I
Goodfellas.
apologize. And even Untouchables were all right.
I always liked Goodfellas
Casino
better
was
than the
good.
guy. I love Casino. That's my
too.
favorite.
Which one? Love it.
Casino's my favorite.
Casino was good.
Casino is my
Joe Pesci
absolute
plays a
favorite.
great
Yeah,
Anthony
it's cool.
Spilotro,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and his brother ended up in a hole.
Yeah.
So, how has the movie business been to you so far? How have you guys liked doing it?
I tell you, what an experience. Going there and being on set and being directed. The director was great.
lights
This
and
guy
this.
Audio,
Oh,
who's
he's
been in the
incredible.
business. He's done some great
70 movies,
videos,
like
and
real
movies.
high-end movies. All the
And,
50 Cent videos.
Yeah, and he would really enlighten you to how he wanted you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to watch it get pieced together. You know, like one scene where it's on Facebook where I clubbed this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not even there when I'm hitting him, and then it's bloody. It'll be bloody up my
Yeah,
hand, my
it's
face,
incredible.
for the conversation with the bartender, and I'm sure he's going to put it together and make movie magic. You
Oh,
know?
it's incredible.
Like I was surprised at the angle that he came at. I thought it was going to be straight on.
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
video.
he's got
but
all different
Came
angles.
from the side. Yeah, the way that they take, it's time consuming, a lot of waiting, but very interesting.
Now, have you wrapped on the pilot? Is it completely finished yet, or no?
No, we've got a few more scenes to cut this
Yeah.
week, and then off to South Philly for one big scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe by January it will be edited and ready to go to market.
Yep.
Okay.
So I don't know when they may throw some clips out there to entice, but
Right.
we're not going to see it until it
Right.
gets
The
sold.
writer and director.
Right.
I mean, the writer and one
So
of
it
the big
ama-
producers said probably
I
about
don't-
January it'll be ready to go.
Right. So I don't know shit about that, but I assume. So then once you have a pilot film, then you shop it out to network, whether it's Netflix or HBO.
Maybe we get a year for 12,
HBO, yeah.
Right. Get
12 episodes or something. That's.
But people are going to lose their mind when they see it.
Well, there's a million open ends,
Yeah.
And you know what? There's been a million Italian gangster movies, and we all love them, but
Absolutely.
there hasn't been any Irish mobster movies.
Yeah, we gotta class it up a little bit with some Irish.
And not only
Well,
that,
we're dressed in jeans and shit kickers with T-shirts. We're not tied up. So we identify with the middle class.
Yeah. I mean, I know on the phone you said you didn't like. I love The Departed though. I know you said.
Oh,
something
yeah.
about
yeah,
it,
that was
but-
good. I mean, all the.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
he was a sicko.
The town, you know.
Town.
But
You watched Johnny Depp as Whitey Bulger?
yeah, what'd you think about
did
him?
a good
He was
job,
all right.
I
I think he
thought.
did
I
a
thought it
good
was
job.
good. I thought he like I thought with John Gotti.
There
I
was
think
too
he
much
overacted
personal
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
But,
I liked as a nutcase was well he was Whitey Bulger character, but he wasn't Whitey Bulger. Was Jack Nicholson?
Oh, he was Jack.
He acted like he looked like a maniac. That's the way I would picture Whitey.
That's who he
be.
was playing.
Yeah, no,
Right,
no,
yeah,
I'm saying,
in
yeah,
terms of
that's
purpose.
what I'm saying. He really, just his
We
look.
liked the ending, but I mean, in
Oh,
reality,
forget
that
it.
was the crazy
Yeah,
Irishman,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And he was a nutcase, you know, like just the
And John
noises
Conley,
he would make.
Matt Damon was John Conley. You know?
Yeah,
he just
yeah.
was a state trooper.
Yeah,
on
no,
set.
exactly, 100%.
Is he out of jail, John Conley?
No,
he's
he'll never
getting
get out.
of jail.
Never,
He got
never.
life.
Oh, he got life.
Yeah, he got 2.
10 years first, and then
I know
he got
he
life.
got murders in New
Imagine a
Jersey.
stand-up cop and everybody else rolled.
Yeah, all of yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Right?
it really is.
Yep.
I mean, he
John
came from the
Conley.
neighborhood and stuck to it.
Yeah.
No, he'll never see daylight.
Damn, that's crazy. I saw that Catherine, the one that was traveling with Whitey, she's supposed to get out in the next 3. Would she get 3 years or something?
Yeah,
like
Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got
Yeah.
7, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her.
Boy, she was strong.
Yeah. Yeah, her lawyer is from Brockton. He's friends with Joe Savino, who I'm friends with, who ran these fights that Steve Dunn was involved with.
Yeah.
Steve Dunn is
Steve's
another
real huge.
guy who's
yeah.
he's on the show. Yeah,
Sandman,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sandman.
So
Yeah.
Steve was a guy who had some MMA fights, and he was just a local street
Animal,
fighting
yeah.
gangster
Yeah.
guy.
Animal.
From Brockton.
But I got to meet him. He announced one of my fights with Anthony Comer, and announced one of Ronnie's fight on Jared
Nice.
Hillenhaus Productions.
Nice.
I know Steve a little bit.
Yeah.
Straight out gentleman.
Yeah.
Straight out gentleman.
He's just not a guy you want to get on the wrong side of.
No,
You know
and
what
this
I
is
mean?
his expression at all times.
Yeah, just normal. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Except he's
there's
got
no- yeah.
eyes that like look through.
Oh,
it.
Yeah, forget it. Like that thing
You
I
want to
put
be
up.
his friend.
Yeah, definitely.
But he couldn't make it down today. But I know he's in the show. Or no, Chicky, are you? Do you have a part on camera in this?
Oh yeah, I got.
So what do you
I
got?
took on a couple. Well,
Because
the way it worked
we
out.
know Brian's role here as he started small and started killing guys to get better parts.
I ended
You're the
up-
guy quit. I don't know. I
ended
never
up-
heard from him again.
I play.
Wow.
I'm on the Italian side of things. Brian was on the Italian side, but they changed him up to a bigger part. So they kind of took a few lines away, but then added a whole nother character to me,
Mikey Abundando.
Mikey Abundano.
Right-hand man to Anthony the Boss.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're on the. I'm gonna give you all the good stuff, but we're on the
No,
beach
for
with
sure,
the Irish guys talking. He's Malcolm.
Yeah.
So I'm at
Me and Anthony are having a meeting at night under the Whitestone Bridge.
Under the Whitestone Bridge. We're under the bridge where it's nighttime, it's dark, you just got the light.
The
from,
water, it's
the
nice.
way they did it, it's a great scene.
Yeah, maybe the
And
guy-
he's with his son Colin and a bodyguard.
Sandman.
Who Sandman's a bodyguard. And then I'm
Makes
with
sense.
my boss, who I'm the underboss, and then we had another like a bodyguard next to him, and we talk
It was
about
a nice
things. And it's
scene, yeah, it
great.
was a
Oh,
nice
it
scene.
came out great.
Yeah, the actor who plays your boss should probably watch out in case you want bigger aspirations.
He might disappear. Mikey be the boss.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of open ends. You never know. Maybe you never
Oh
know.
yeah, they leave a lot of suspense, and like I said, we can't divulge anything at this point. But all to say is that you if you miss the Flanagans, you're missing a big movie.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
It's incredible.
yeah. Well, the writer was excellent. He's got 12 episodes roughly lined out.
Right.
You know, so they had some good backing for the pilot.
Yeah.
So we got different real good sites that we were at, and they got permits for the park and for the bocce court and down on the beach, and so it was nice. It was real
It was
nice.
done right way. It
Yeah,
was
so
done
this
right
this
way.
place, 40 Thieves. The 40 Thieves were the first Irish gang ever in New York. So that's the basis on this place. Is
Wow.
what
Wow.
they went around with. Yeah.
The gangs of New York.
Yeah.
You
see
should
that?
try to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
some old pictures or something. Put them up.
Yeah,
If they can
there's
find the history
we've got a
of it.
couple. Yeah, well, we've actually, me and Durham here been. He's still not there. I'm trying
Yeah,
to talk to him, but
that's all right.
we've been working on some stuff. We kind of did maybe for the back of the menu, have the history of it. And
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
People
But,
love that stuff.
Right,
They
it's
love
wild,
it.
but that's the premise here, and it's gone. They went through and they got all this old stuff from. They got Irish bakery signs literally from the Bronx, from the
Yeah,
Irish neighborhood there. I mean, everything's
Yeah, that's all great stuff.
Very, very legit, and
Yeah.
it's kind of
Even the
based
floors, the
around
wood
that.
you used.
Right,
Oh, you
right.
guys.
Yeah, I know you noticed that right away.
Oh,
man.
kidding!
You
Right
have to
when we
come
walked
down to
in,
40 Thieves.
you can't just get that.
Now, John Gotti Jr. What's he about 5-0 now?
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Hope, knock on wood. Yeah, the 25th.
Yeah.
Of,
I want to promote
October,
a little bit
yes,
here.
absolutely.
John Jr. and his son are very good friends of ours.
Yep.
And we want you to be on Team Gotti.
Yeah, you can go on
okay?
MMA.
And we want you to watch
Team
The
Gotti.
Lion. That's John.
Yeah.
He's fighting October 25th at Twin Rivers. in Lincoln,
Casino.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island.
For number 5 knockout.
Yeah, number
well,
5 in less than 20. I think 27 seconds. Less than 27 seconds.
Yeah, I know the
Let's-
kid is,
you know, yeah.
is killing
He's a
it. man.
beast. He's so
And you know
into
what?
this.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he's living. He don't. He's he respects
doesn't
the
eat
name,
bad, yeah.
but it's not that.
Yeah.
He enjoys the sport, and he's building one fight, a pro fight at a time. His legacy.
His own legacy.
His own legacy. And I'm telling you, the kid. I'm not just saying it because I know the kid and I like the kid.
Yeah.
The kid is such a humble gentleman, but in the ring he's a beast. But he
Yeah.
doesn't. He's not a talker. You know this.
Right,
this.
right.
People even try to get him going, and he says, "Listen,
Yeah.
if we have that chance to fight, I would love to." The kid is a true gentleman. And I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Well, in that game, as he goes along, man, he's gonna start having to mouth a little bit. 'Cause that's how you're gonna make the real money in that sport. You can't just.
I don't think
Right.
it's to him though. You're right, but I don't think it's about the money.
Yeah, he's
let's face it-
he's gonna be so marketable though.
Yeah,
if he
absolutely.
continues in the way that he's
Yeah.
going.
Oh,
man,
100%.
There's gonna be a lot of doors open
100%.
for him.
Hey, listen,
Absolutely.
his father's done a great job marketing him so
Yeah.
far.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, if
Not
somebody
too
sees his
much.
fight, you don't have to worry about marketing it. They
That's
want to
right.
see
No,
this
I know,
kid.
dude. He,
Right.
he beat a guy with a slam in his last fight. Yeah, he
Oh, it
slammed
was
him
a
on
minute
top.
and 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
picked that guy up, slammed him down. He was out cold.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he knocked him out.
Yeah.
That's how
Nah,
hard
it's
he threw
amazing.
him
The kid
down,
is
you know?
kid's a beast, and he hits like a truck.
Yeah.
And Damien, our
And
friend,
his whole lifestyle, the
Yeah.
way he eats, the way he lives,
Yeah,
he's not
shredded.
drinking.
No,
Yeah,
no, he's
shredded
just
his
so
life.
into the life, you know.
Well,
and-
growing up with that name, man, you got no choice probably but to be tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you probably got a
You
lot
could
of
sit
shit.
back and live
shit.
off your name if you wanted to, maybe, but not,
Right,
not
but,
him.
but kids are vicious, man. I mean, that could have been tough growing up too, man. People breaking your balls about your grandfather and your father,
Yeah.
poking at you, teachers looking at you sideways,
Yeah.
man. That'll put a chip.
They had a
on
lot
your
of
shoulder,
family,
man,
They had
you
a
know.
lot of cousins, they
Yeah.
all grew up, and John Jr. kept a big reign on the whole family, you know.
Yeah.
He
Even
picked,
from
he,
away.
yeah, you know, when he was away, and then when he came back, he always went to all their events.
Yeah.
You know, the sisters' events if their husbands were not there.
Right.
So John was at the end the matriarch, or still is, of that family.
Yeah. So, you know, the third there, who's got the fight coming up on 25th at Twin River with our friend Jimmy Birchfield, CES MMA. You know, CES is a good organization for him to be in because they're putting guys into UFC and Bellator all the time. You know, it's a big regional promotion. There's a lot of small regional promotions. It's a major regional promotion.
Absolutely.
You know, without being in the two biggest leagues,
Right.
that's where you want to be. You know, they have a good vision and distribution deal through the UFC on Fight Pass, and they have all. You know, I'm a friend of mine, Greg Rebello, is the heavyweight champion for CES. He's fighting that night too.
Yep.
So shout out to Greg, man. Best of luck. But I know that's going to be a good show. Unfortunately, I can't make it the same night. Bellator is at Mohegan Sun, and I'm going to be at
Right.
Bellator.
Right.
Right.
But it's kind of sucks when they schedule it like that. But you got to
Yeah.
pick and choose. But yeah, I'll make sure that I'll be at Gotti's next fight for sure,
Yeah.
man.
Can I put out a shout out?
You can do anything you want, bro.
November, I believe. I
don't
think
wanna
it's in
end up
November.
He'll be the next host of the Shamrock show. Now, Sean quit, man.
No.
Sean
I
quit.
just want to shout out to my friend from Virginia Beach, or Virginia, Joey Cusimano. He's for
the
CES,
boxer.
the
Yeah,
boxer,
yeah,
heavyweight
yeah.
boxer. And he's fighting in late November. And I believe
Oh,
it's
is he
going to be,
already?
Twin
Okay.
River. Yeah, I seen it on his Facebook, Joey Cusimano.
Yeah.
And he's called
Don't
the
forget the Flanagans.
Flanagans. Yeah. The Italian Nightmare, Joey Cusimano, the Flanagans, Chicky and Brian Hoyle.
And what are your
Damien.
restaurants up in Mass?
O'Brien's Corner and the Blarney Stone.
Yeah.
That's just a little one-bathroom Irish bar.
Perfect. Sounds like a road trip to me, man. I'm with it for sure, man. Again, everyone keep a lookout for the Flanagans. It's going to be coming to you next year at some point.
January,
But
roughly,
check out all their
yeah.
social media. Brian Hoyle, Chicky the Guinea. They'll keep you updated, man. He's posted a lot of good content. I seen him with my man Chuck Zito the other day talking shit.
Yeah,
So
we busting balls.
we'll definitely keep you posted from here as well when that comes out, man. And I just want to thank you guys for making the trip down.
Thank
man.
you.
This was
Thank
a
you
lot
for
of
having
fun,
us.
Appreciate it.
man.
Thank
This
you.
was-
You're a gentleman. Thank you.
man. You guys are
Appreciate
the best,
it.
man. It was cool, man.
I want to thank Ronnie for making it all
Yeah, it's the
happen, Ronnie.
First time we've done a live show with any kind of audience, man. You got Dio and Durham and Dave and Ronnie in the back, man. A shout out to 40 Thieves, Bridge Street, Groton. You have to
down
come down and
here.
check this place
Beautiful
out,
joint.
man.
Beautiful.
Till next time, I got 2 more episodes coming this month, so stay tuned, man. Appreciate you. We're out.
Peace.